In the previous episode, after Hinako deduced Miko's true identity as the fox deity, she often worshipped as a child and expressed that she still regarded Miko as a friend. Miko unexpectedly transformed into her true form and lunged at Hinako. When Hinako reopened her eyes, she realized Miko had not harmed her but had instead bitten off her own tail. A fox spirit's supernatural power is concentrated in its tail, and by severing two of them, Miko lost a portion of her strength, but gained better resistance to the temptation of Hinako's flesh and blood. Even if it meant sacrificing power accumulated over centuries, Miko wished to remain by Hinako's side as a friend. Hinako took Miko's hand and assured her, "To me, you have always been an important friend." Hearing this, Miko could no longer hold back her emotions and tearfully embraced Hinako. After the situation was peacefully resolved, Miko safely escorted Hinako home. Since Miko still retained some of her power, Shiori followed them discreetly to prevent any mishap. Miko remarked that if she ever got hungry, she would simply catch fish somewhere and didn't need Shiori's concern. Shiori asked Miko, since she had known Hinako since childhood, whether she hadn't worried about Hinako being attacked by monsters during her family trips. To Shiori's surprise, Miko revealed a startling truth: Hinako only became susceptible to monster attacks after the accident, and the condition worsened as she grew older. However, Miko had no clue what exactly during the incident caused this change. In a way, Miko was actually grateful for Shiori's appearance. She knew all too well that if she continued to stay close to Hinako, an accident would be inevitable. Yet, casually tearing off her tails like she did would also weaken her ability to protect Hinako. Thus, she decided to let Shiori protect Hinako until the day Shiori planned to devour her, at which point Miko would personally eliminate Shiori. Shiori showed no resentment at being used in this way and simply smiled, saying, "Until then, let's get along well." The next day, to celebrate their reconciliation, Miko bought a large assortment of Hinako's favorite snacks to share. Watching Hinako's joyful expression, Shiori felt secretly relieved that she hadn't killed Miko. Even as a monster, Miko's presence could still serve as nourishment for Hinako's will to live. Just then, a classmate hurried over to inform Miko, who then remembered her duties as a library committee member and rushed off to a meeting. Taking advantage of Miko's absence, Shiori asked Hinako why she was still willing to be friends with Miko after learning she was a monster. Unexpectedly, Hinako replied that knowing Miko was a monster actually put her at ease. Compared to the long lifespan of a monster, a human's life is merely a fleeting moment. This way, she wouldn't have to worry about Miko grieving forever if she were ever eaten. Learning of Hinako's perspective, Shiori showed a faint, somewhat helpless smile, as if she wasn't as eager to devour Hinako as she claimed. That day, Shiori invited Hinako to the seaside, since Miko had lost part of her power and found it difficult to leave her territory. The outing became a trip for just Shiori and Hinako. The moment they arrived, Hinako was haunted by unpleasant memories, but Shiori noticed her discomfort and placed a hat on her head. Taking Hinako's hand, Shiori told her that if she feared the sunlight, it was okay to temporarily seek shelter in the shadow. This wasn't running away, it was to wait until she could adapt and eventually walk under the sun with a smile. Until then, Shiori would be the shade that sheltered her. With Shiori's company, Hinako enjoyed many activities, though she remained hesitant about swimming in the sea. Shiori reassured her that what mattered most was whether Hinako was happy. Besides, she added, it might not be the best time for a swim with unwelcome guests around. No sooner had she spoken than rain began to pour from the sky, and countless monsters emerged from the water, drawn by Hinako's presence. While Miko and Hinako have finally reconciled, her relationship with Shiori remains as incompatible as fire and water. How will the three of them navigate their days ahead? Follow my channel to be the first to watch the latest updates of the series.